Hello everyone, my name is Jacinta from Posture Tonic. This is your 28-minute reformer workout using a ring if you have it. We'll then start by setting our springs to a red, blue, yellow or 2.5 to 3 springs. Okay, so go ahead and lay all the way down. We're going to place the ring in between our knees. From here, place your fingertips on your hip bones, slide them in 1 inch and down 1 inch. Softening those ribs, we're going to squeeze that ring in when you're ready and then opening it back out. So exhale, squeeze the ring. Inhale, slowly release that ring to full circle. So keep going here underneath your fingers, really feeling your lower abdominals connect in. And once you have that, we'll add a curl in. Fingertips to temples, exhale, curl, lift head and shoulders up, squeezing the ring at the same time, then inhale, lower. Squeezing as we curl, releasing gently as we lower the head. In 3 seconds, let's hold our curl and just stay with those squeezes. So on the next one, stay up high and squeeze, release. Exhale, squeeze, inhale, release. Equal work on the way in and out. We're going to hold this squeeze in 2. In 1, reach your arms down by your hips, chest pulses, lifting up 1 inch, down 1 inch. Really reaching for that foot bar, sliding the ribs down towards the hips just for 3, 2, and slowly release on 1. Okay, from here, holding onto the ring, slide down a little and drape your back of your knees off your foot bar, ready for our roll up. So use your exhale breath, tuck chin to chest and peel up bone by bone so you sit tall at the top. Lifting up out of your hips, reaching the ring above your head, and then exhale, slowly roll yourself all the way back down. Abdominal exercise this one, so to challenge yourself, maybe you're going to float one leg off your foot bar, alternating with each roll up. Really smoothly on the way down in particular. And then you can maybe take both legs and hover them off the foot bar if you're feeling really strong here. Breathing out through pursed lips to assist on that roll up, and that's that smooth roll back down. You've got one more here. And then on your next one, we're going to hold it back halfway, Russian twist, taking the ring from right to left. You're in your C curve, really scooping out through those abdominals. Wrapping in from right to left for 2 and 1. Slowly roll yourself all the way back down. Release. Place your ring onto your foot bar and come up onto your knees with your feet right up against your shoulder pads. Hands are a little bit wider than shoulder distance on the foot bar. Use your abs, scoop and lift those knees up and rise your hips up in line with your shoulders. So a nice straight flat back. Shift your shoulders away from the foot bar, and once you have that, big press out through the legs and bend through the knees underneath your chest. So power out on the way out, control on the way in, exhale, push out, inhale, return the carriage back in. Press into your palms, but lift up out of your shoulders. As I said, it's abs, so we're scooping up there, but we're really pressing strong through those legs. Feeling that burn build through the quads. Bringing awareness to your shoulders. Are we sliding your shoulder blades down your back? Getting nice and warm here. Well done. Let's change our spring now for some lateral lunges. So you want a red spring or 1.5 springs for this one, and we can use the ring if you have it. Standing up tall, foot onto your platform, the other onto the carriage, toes tracking forward. Send your hips back, glide the carriage out, and keep your hip hovered over your platform. Now we alternate, so we're going to send the hips over towards your right knee as we open the carriage. So one of each, one lateral over your platform and then one lateral lunge over your carriage. So all that we're doing here is sliding open and close with the carriage, bending into one knee, one leg is straight. We can smoosh that ring in to get a bit of chest burn as well. And that shoulder awareness we just played into our warm-up, we're going to bring it into here. So slide the shoulders down your back, squeeze your ring, Good. I'm adding a little bit of rotation here as another layer. This is totally optional. If you have your balance, you're going to send the carriage open and rotate towards the leg that is bent. So one's over the platform and then alternating one over the carriage. Let's find that ankle, knee, and hip alignment. As we open the carriage, we try and track our hip over in line with our knee and foot. The next time you bend your platform leg, we're gonna pulse. So stay down low. We pulse down and up an inch through that platform leg, adding in that rotation if you wanted that progression. Excellent work. Come all the way up. Pop that ring down. Go ahead and lay all the way down. Make sure your headrest is up. Your hips go towards the back of your carriage. We're going to use that long loop and thread it so it's above your knee. And then we'll reach the top arm up, ready for our side lying glutes. So set your hips so they are stacked. Bending that bottom knee, creating long lines through the top and upper waistline. Moving into a circle with that strap leg. So we're going to let that carriage move a little as we circle that top knee forward towards you and then away towards the foot bar. Maintaining that 90-degree bend of your knee and then ensuring your abdominals are connected here. So everything is still from your hips upwards. So we're just allowing your femur bone to roll in a circle in your hip socket. Breathing at your own pace here, relaxing the face and the shoulders, keeping the spine in a neutral position. Ready for our clams on the next one. So bring your knees together. Use your exhale, lift the knees straight up towards the sky without rocking your hips. So only open as high as you can without letting that top hip bone roll forwards or backwards. Maybe you're placing that hand into your top hip pocket area to really engage those glutes and tune in. We're going to pulse it in that top range in 3, in 2, hold on the next one. Little pulse up and down. Can we turn the knee slightly up to the sky and then back to parallel? So a little bit of external rotation and then back to parallel. Waving the knee up and down with the foot as well. Last 3, 2, 1. Rest the leg back down, have a little tap out and a reset, placing that long loop now over the arch of your foot. We're going to extend that leg all the way out, reach your top arm overhead to reset your spinal alignment. Now turn your strap foot toes up to the sky, bend the knee and extend the leg. So inhale, bend, exhale, extend. This is our frog press, keeping those hips pointing forward, but your knee needs to turn up towards the sky. So fighting that external rotation. Inhale, bend. Exhale, big press out through the heel. Really squeeze that glute. So good. Give me 5 more seconds. We'll then bring it in halfway. Teeny tiny pulses in 2. Halfway in 1. Little pulse out and in that halfway range. Let's go. Really stamp that foot. Push out and in, just an inch or 2. Really feeling that in that side glute. Let's go, last 3, 2. Extend the leg on the next one. Float your toes up towards the sky, big circles. Toes forward and push back through the back of the leg. So inhale, toes up to the sky, fold the leg forward, exhale, extend the leg back in line with your hip. Really opening up through the hip, enjoying a beautiful stretch for your inner thighs. Now let's reverse these circles. So the next time your leg comes back towards the foot bar, we'll sweep it forward and then toes up to the sky, opening up and extending the leg back towards the bar again. Trying to keep those hips steady, enjoying that mobility through the hips. 2 more circles. Trying to increase that range with each one. Last one here. Well done. Let's take that strap off and we'll move into our crouching tiger. So prop yourself up onto your elbows. Your toes wrap over the lip of your platform. Squeeze your heels together. Toes are apart, so they're in a diamond shape. When you're ready, let's hover those knees up off your carriage, sliding the carriage open, pressing out into a quick plank, and then bend those knees. So hips over your heels, knees are split, and then push out, launch into your plank. Good. Once you have that, start to build the pace, moving a little quicker, really bending deep into those knees and hips. So it's like a deep squat, hips right over that foot bar. Launch yourself out into a plank. Let's pick up that pace now. Feel the quads, feel the shoulders, the core. It's all happening. Let's go. About 20 seconds now. Maybe adding a shoulder extension in, sliding the carriage further down the rails. Really lock out that core. Final 10 seconds now. We'll take a child's pose in 8. Can we build that pace even more? 3, 2, and 1. Softening the hips over your heels, reaching your arms over your shoulder pads, releasing, and deep breathing here. Next up, we'll be moving into some back work. You can keep the springs the same, or you might like to lower them just to 1 spring. When you're ready, shift your knees all the way up to the shoulder pads and grab hold of your short loops. Roll the shoulders down and back. You're sitting upright with a straight spine, and you will just open those hands away from each other, leading with the knuckles. Really reach apart the hands, squeezing into the back. So your shoulder blades slide in and down towards your hips. Really reach the arms apart. Breathe out, open. Inhale, slowly release. If you're feeling confident, you might like to come into a high kneeling position, lifting the hips off your heels. Make sure your glutes are squeezed and abs are engaged if you're doing this. Beautiful. Next up, bicep curls, reaching your arms forward, palms facing up, and bending at the elbows. Hands towards shoulders, lengthening the arms. Exhale, squeeze the biceps. Inhale, lengthen the biceps. Either seated or in your high kneeling position for this one also. Keep the hands in line with your shoulders so everything tracks parallel. Well done. Alternating now back to 1 chest fly into 1 bicep curl. So that first exercise, opening the hands apart, then flip your palms up, 1 bicep curl, 1 reverse chest fly. Building that shoulder strength. Try and keep those elbows up in line with your shoulders with your bicep curl. If you're feeling it into your neck, we lower the elbows down slightly. Five seconds of this combo. Then we move into our thigh stretch, keeping your bicep curl hold. So on the next one, bicep curl, hold your hands towards your shoulders. Core is on tight, lengthen your spine, then lean yourself back. Only as far as you can. We're going to bring that head back over your knees. So we lean back like a falling piece of timber, straight line, and then return back upright. Feeling a stretch through the front of your quads, and then strengthening as you rise back up to high kneeling. Once you get more confident, you might like to lean back a little bit more. Make sure you keep squeezing those glutes, and we should not feel this in your back. Reduce the range if this is you. Last one here. And coming all the way up, placing the long glutes back onto your pose, into a camel stretch. Find your hands onto your platform, push the hips up, stretching open the heart, extending the back, and maybe allowing for that head to fall back over your foot bar. Shoulder stretch. interlacing your hands in front of you, separating the shoulder blades. And then take your hands behind your back. Squeeze your shoulder blades together, opening up through the chest once again. We're going to repeat what we did on the other side. For those lateral lunges, you'll need your ring, safely stand onto your platform, and then your carriage. So it's those alternating right to left lateral lunges. Ring is at your chest, elbows are wide, slide the carriage open, bend into your platform leg. That carriage leg is straight. And then alternate, bending into the carriage knee, and then return. Exhale, push open the carriage. Inhale, stand up tall. Finding that ankle, knee, and hip alignment once again. And then begin to squeeze that ring as you open the carriage. Your advancement, remember, was to add a rotation in, so twisting towards the knee that you are bending. Really grounding through your heel here. Making sure that then you are loading up through the hamstrings into that lower glute area. So you're sending the hips back, your spine is straight, we hinge forward. So keep transferring your weight from your platform to the carriage, therefore shifting your hips to translate that weight shift. Great, you're doing so well. These springs are quite heavy. We're getting ready to hold it over towards your platform side. In 3, in 2, transfer over to your platform leg, and then we twist towards that right leg, or whichever leg is on your platform. Twist if you'd like that progression. Last one here, place the ring down, moving into your side lying glutes. So you'll need the long loop, threading it over your top leg, above your knee line. Send your hips towards the back of your carriage. Send your knees forward, so they are creating a 90-degree bend. Hips are stacked, lengthen through your waistline, and then once you have all of that, the knee circles. So pulling the knee in towards the chest, and then lifting it up and around in a circle shape. Remembering to really relax through the front of your hip. Even that bottom leg needs to stay super heavy and melting into the carriage. It should be the glute that's turning that femur bone around in the hip socket, not the hip flexors. So trust that strap has you and tune into that top glute. Okay, clams. Lowering the knee and lifting the knee. Exhale, open. Inhale, close. So everything opens like a book, your foot and your knee in one level. Great work. We're going to hold it up, ready for those little pulses in 3 seconds. Hold it up. On the next one, little pulse up and down. Turn the knees slightly up and then back to parallel. Turn it out and back to parallel if you can. Nearly there. And release. Tap it out, reset. Long loop goes over the arch of your foot for our frog press. Realign your spine. Is it neutral? Have we got a little waist lift happening? Okay, toes up to the sky. Frog press. Bend the knee. Exhale, extend the leg. Good. Inhale, bend. And then the leg presses towards the front corner of the foot bar. Moving for another 10 seconds. Great. Give it a big push. Let's challenge with those pulses in 5 seconds. We bring the leg in halfway. In 3, in 2, ready, In 1. Bring the knee in halfway. Big push out, but just an inch. And inhale, resist it back in. Like we're trying to stamp on the roof. Keep your toes and knees turned up, but that front hip rolling forward. Last 2. And last 1, extend the leg all the way. Big exhale, press. And circles. Turning the toes up to the sky. Folding the leg forward to parallel. And then push back. Opening up through the hips. Really hitting all the angles of the glutes here as well as a nice active stretch. 2 more in this direction. And then begin to reverse those circles. Swinging the leg forward, turning the toe up to the sky, and then leading out through the heel. Point the toe as you come forward, flexing the foot, reach out through the heel, lengthen the leg. Last 2 here, really enjoying it, seeing if you can open the hip up a little bit more. Last 1. We then take the strap, return it back to the shoulder post, laying on your back for a well-deserved glute stretch. So bend one knee, hook it over the other thigh, pushing either the knee away, or you can thread your arms through and pull the knee in towards the chest. Breathing in, breathing out. And then slowly changing sides. Stretching now the opposite glute. Stay here in the stretch. Next up, we're going for a wheelbarrow, which will hit our core. We need to change our spring. Last breath in here. And exhale. Coming all the way up, we want a yellow spring or a half or a quarter of a spring. This is for your core, so keep it light. Hands stacked shoulder distance apart on the foot bar. Walk your feet into your shoulder pads, moving into a half plank position, lowering the hips, tucking them under, finding the core, and then lift them up and puff your chest slightly. From here, slide the carriage open halfway, and then slide the shoulders back over the foot bar. Inhale, glide open the carriage. Exhale, pushing down into those hands, back over your wrist line. So to advance, you just slide the carriage open more, ensuring that you're maintaining that tuck under of the pelvis and that your abs are engaged. We're never feeling this in your back. If you are looking for a little bit more, maybe you could float your feet off your shoulder pads, either on top or crossing your ankles over. Good, we want to find some shakes in the core, so challenge yourself on that stretch. How far open can we open the carriage? Keep the tempo really slow, so therefore it's your abs working, not that spring coiling back in. We're getting ready to hold it out halfway. So on your next one, slide the carriage out halfway. Lock the core, zip up those lower abs, hold it, hold it. Breathe. And come back in. Just enjoying a bit of a stretch here, a little release, either hands onto your platform, hips high, or hands onto your foot bar. Rounding the spine as we close the carriage, and then slide the carriage open, drop the chest down. Again, keep the hips high, extending into the spine. Again, pull up through those abs, round your spine. And again, inhale, melting the chest down a little bit further, finding a stretch underneath the shoulders. And curl and round your spine. Reverse plank now on your elbows. They're like genie arms. So crossing your hands over on the forearms, slide the carriage out, you're in a full plank. Really tuck the hips under, all those same principles, scooping the belly in. Once you have that, turn the toes towards one side, find a side plank. Meet back in through the middle, and then rotate over to another side plank. Strong through the middle. And then lift up out of that single supportive arm in your side plank. Just pivoting at your toes. If you need a beginner option here, you'll just have your knees resting onto your platform and you can just rotate on your knees from side to side. I want you to really feel your waistline here. As you reach your arm, can we lift the waist up a little bit more towards the sky? This is a really powerful pose. Keep moving. It's your last exercise and then we enjoy some stretches. We're going to hold it over to one side in your side plank, hip pulses. Here we go. Lift the hips up and down an inch. Really reach up for the sky. Lowering down, lifting. 3, 2, 1. Hold, hold, hold. And then back through the middle. Rotate to the other side. Lift that arm up. Pulse it out. Good. Really pulse. And then hold in 1, hold, hold, hold. Last bit of work. This is it. And back through the middle. Gently place those knees down. Hands on top of your shoulder pads. Enjoy a cat-cow rounding through the spine and arching through the spine. Maybe some disco cats now, so rolling through the spine in a circle. Whatever feels delicious on your spine, you're going to indulge. 10 seconds, and then we'll stretch out our hip flexors. Really go for it here. Make them as big and as exaggerated as you can, pausing in any positions that feel best for you. Then when you're ready, turning around, place another red spring on. So you're on a red, yellow, or 1.5 to 2 springs. Okay, tucking the hips under. It's the right foot on the foot bar. Lengthening now through the left hip flexor, reaching your left arm up to the sky, and a little side bend over to the right side. Hands go onto your foot bar and we're going to slide open that carriage. So you're on that red, yellow spring and we're going to slide away. There'll be a bit of tension on it. Keep tucking your hips under. Still finding that stretch through that left hip flexor and keep your right knee bent. So we want to find that mid-belly hamstring stretch. Return the carriage in. Again, reach your left arm up to the sky, pushing the hips forward. And maybe that little side lean over to the right side. Hands go on the foot bar. Keep that stretch as we glide open the carriage a little bit. Find your range. We're purposely keeping that front leg bent slightly. And bring the carriage in, safely swapping over with your left foot on top of the foot bar. Glide the hips forward. Lengthen up. Reach, reach, reach. And then side bend. Hands to the bar, exhale. Push open the carriage. Well-deserved stretch. We're going to do one more of those. Returning the carriage in. Lift up through the crown of the head, reach your fingertips, side bend. And then last stretch, push it away halfway. Glide the hips under a little bit more. Tuck them under. And then when you're ready, you're going to come all the way back in. And that is your 28-minute reformer class all complete. Thank you very much for joining me. Please make sure you're subscribed so I can keep on providing these reformer workouts to you. Like the video, and I will see you back here for another Pilates workout in our next video together.